Welcome to Daily Book Insight. Today, we are diving into a plan that's famous for one simple reason. It actually works. We're talking about Dave Ramsey's The Total Money Makeover. And let me tell you, this isn't just about spreadsheets or budgets. Nope, this is about fundamentally changing your entire relationship with money, taking you from stressed out to totally secure.
Let's be real for a second. Does this question hit home? Do you ever find yourself planning your life around when the next bill is due? Or you get that little pit in your stomach when you check your bank account after payday and wonder, where did it all go? If you're tired of that hamster wheel of working so hard but feeling like you're getting nowhere, then you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's break this down because this right here is the absolute core of the entire book. See, most of us think that being good with money means you have to be some kind of math genius or a Wall Street wizard, but Ramsey says, nope, that's just not true. The math part, that's the easy 20%. It's simple, spend less than you earn. The hard part, the 80%, is all about your behavior, your habits, your discipline, and how you think. And that's what we're gonna make over today.
So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're gonna start with the man himself and why his story is so important. Then, we'll get into that crucial mindset shift you need to make before you even touch a dollar. After that, we are walking step by step through his proven plan, from your first safety net to building some serious wealth. And finally, we'll look at the ultimate goal, a life of real financial freedom. So, who is this Dave Ramsey guy, and why should you even listen to him? Well, this part's important because he's not some professor who's only ever seen money in a textbook. This is a guy who made it to the very top, crashed and burned in a spectacular way, and then built it all back again, the right way.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's kind of staggering. A millionaire at 26, living a life built on debt and leverage. But just 4 years later, by 30, it was all gone. Can you imagine that freefall? He wasn't just broke, he was bankrupt, with a young family to take care of. So his system wasn't dreamed up in a classroom. It was forged in the fire of his own failure. And honestly, that's why it's so incredibly powerful. All right, before we even talk about the famous baby steps, we've got to get to the root of the problem. Your financial situation right now, it's just the result of all the decisions you've made up to this point. So to change your future, you've got to change your mind first. You have to win the game in your head before you can ever win it with your bank account.
You've got to hear this analogy. It's so spot on. Financial problems are just like this. It starts with one little credit card balance, then a car loan, then another one of those buy now, pay later things. The water temperature goes up so slowly, you don't even realize you're in trouble until you're completely cooked. The very first step of this whole plan isn't a budget. It's admitting the water's getting hot and it is time to jump out.
This slide just nails the trap so many of us fall into. We live in a world that's obsessed with appearances, right? We're pushed to look rich, drive the fancy car, live in the huge house. But so often that's just a performance paid for with debt. And behind the curtain, there is a ton of stress. Real wealth, being rich, is the total opposite. It's quiet, it's security, it's owning your stuff instead of the bank owning you. It's that peace of mind you get from knowing you're secure no matter what anyone else thinks.
This right here, this is the mantra of the entire book. You need to burn this into your brain. It's a simple trade-off. For a little while, you are going to live with an intense focus. You're going to make sacrifices that your friends and family might not get. You'll say no to things now so that later on you can live a life of freedom and generosity that they can only dream about.
Okay, our mindset is officially reset. Now it's time for action. Let's get into the practical, hands-on part of the plan. We're starting with the first two steps, and these are designed to stop the financial bleeding and create some immediate stability in your life. Baby step 1 is your first line of defense, because before you can even think about attacking your old debt, you have to stop creating new debt. Life is always gonna happen. The tire will go flat, the water heater will break. This $1,000 isn't an investment, it's insurance. It's the wall you build between a small inconvenience and a brand new credit card balance. Think about it like this. Your income is the most powerful tool you have for building wealth. But right now, a huge chunk of that power is probably being stolen by its greatest enemy, debt. Every single dollar you send to a lender is like a soldier that could have been fighting for your future. The debt snowball is how you bring those soldiers back home. So here's how it works, and it is brilliant because it's all about behavior. You list all your debts, everything but your mortgage, from the smallest balance to the largest. Now, here's the key.
You completely ignore the interest rates. I know, that sounds totally counterintuitive, right? But remember, this is 80% behavior. We need some quick wins to stay motivated.
You keep paying the minimum on everything else, but you declare war on that smallest debt. This is where that intensity comes in. You find extra money anywhere you can. You cut your budget, you sell stuff you don't need, maybe you pick up a side hustle. Every single spare dollar gets thrown at destroying that first debt. And why? Because knocking it out gives you a fast, real victory. It proves to yourself that you can do this. And that momentum, well, that's the fuel for the entire journey. You get hooked on the feeling of winning. And here's where the magic starts, where the snowball really begins to roll. Once that first credit card is gone, you don't just let that extra $50 disappear into your budget. Oh no. You take that freed up payment and you add it directly to the minimum payment of the next debt in line. So that $150 payment on the loan instantly becomes $200. You're not spending any more out of your pocket, but your debt-destroying power just grew. As each debt falls, the snowball gets bigger and faster, and it just crushes the debts below it with unbelievable force. All right, so you've got your starter emergency fund. You're debt-free except for the house. You've freed up hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars every single month. Now it's time to build a real fortress around your finances. That first $1,000 was for life's little bumps. This is for the big stuff. A job loss, a major health crisis, you name it. You need to save up 3 to 6 months worth of your essential living expenses. This fund is the ultimate game changer. It buys you peace. It means you will never again have to make a desperate decision out of fear. You can walk away from a terrible job, or you can weather a recession without panicking because you have a fully funded safety net. Up to this point, every single step has been about getting back to zero. It's all been about defense, stopping emergencies, getting rid of debt. Now, with that solid foundation built, the entire game flips. You're not just surviving anymore, you are now in a position to thrive. This is where we go on offense and start building serious, life-changing wealth. Now that your income is finally free from the chains of debt, you can point it towards building your future. And these next 3 steps, investing for retirement, saving for college, and paying off the house, they often happen all at the same time. It's like you're building 3 huge pillars of your financial fortress at once. This is the phase where you really start to pull away from the pack. You're not just getting by anymore, you're building a legacy. So, the first pillar is your own future. Baby step 4 is to invest 15% of your gross income for retirement. This is where you unleash a new superpower, compound interest. It's basically your money making money, and then that money starts making its own money. Ramsey suggests a really simple, diversified approach. Just spread that 15% across 4 types of good growth stock mutual funds. You don't have to be a stock-picking genius. The goal here is just consistency. Month after month, you invest, and you let time and the market do their magic to build a nest egg you can actually retire on. We have climbed the mountain. We have fought the battles. And now, we've finally reached the summit. This is the final step, where all that hard work, all that sacrifice, finally pays off in the most incredible way possible. This final step, baby step 7, is the destination. You've reached what he calls pinnacle point, where your money is now working harder for you than you are working for it. Your investments are generating enough income to cover your lifestyle. And the finish line isn't about owning a garage full of sports cars. It's about owning your time. It's the freedom to build a legacy, and maybe most importantly, to become outrageously generous, changing your family tree and your community forever. And so we end right where we began, with this mantra. But now it's not a call to sacrifice, is it? It's the fulfilled promise. All those times you packed a lunch instead of eating out, all those times you drove the old paid-for car, all those times you said no to a vacation. It was all for this: to arrive at a place of security, peace, and abundance that, frankly, most people will never experience. You lived like no one else, so now you get to live like no one else. You know, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with just one step. So what's your first step? Is it just calculating all your debts? Is it selling something to start that emergency fund? Or is it just having an honest conversation with your partner? Whatever it is, take that step today. If this explainer helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with family and friends who want to upgrade their life. Thanks for watching.